welcome to episode 61 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. My name is Michaeli. I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and this is my podcast where I talk about my knitting, my crocheting, and my yarn dyeing. You can find me online at breakingyarn.com or anywhere on social media at Breaking Yarn. Today I have technically 4 finished objects, but basically just 2 finished objects and 3 whips, 2 of which you have not seen yet. So let's just jump right into it. A while ago, I had purchased from someone's D-Stash yarn on Instagram, and I just thought it was super cute and playful, and it wasn't very much money, so I just thought, like, I'll use that. And so my very first finished object is a scrappy basket. This one I made out of all scrap yarn. And I had a lot of skeins of the Lion brand Thick and Quick Wool Ease yarn. And so that's what this black, white, gray, and purple is. And I mixed it with this D-Stash yarn that I purchased from a girl on Instagram. And it was called Jelly Beans. And it has all different like rainbowy type colors, but I loved how this turned out, like holding them together, because it kind of created a fun little like, I don't know, they kind of look like sprinkles to me. And originally I was gonna do it in all black, or you know, as far as I could in black, but then I ended up having to get pretty scrappy because it ran out a lot faster. But this is a crocheted basket. It's called, I think it's called My Scrappy Basket, and it's by My Poppet. I'll put the links to my Ravelry information down below, which will have the pattern link to it. It's a free pattern. But yeah, basically you just crochet increases until you get to the size of the base that you want, and then you just keep crocheting, single crocheting up the sides, and then you add in some cute little handles, which just make it a cute little basket to carry stuff in. I was originally thinking I would make this for my son, but then it turned out a little girly, I thought, and so I am giving it to my daughter, and she loves baskets and things like this. So I think that turned out super cute. Great way to use up somebody else's D-Stash yarn with the jelly beans and holding it double with my D-Stash yarn, or not D-Stash yarn, but just my stash yarn, I guess. Leftovers from Wool Ease Thick and Quick. And why I said I technically had 4 finished objects was because I also created with my leftovers little tiny baskets. Here is the first one. And I think I did 5 like rounds of increases on this, and then I just started going up the sides, and then I did small little handles for that one. Isn't that cute though? I figured that'd be cute for holding little items, maybe inside the big basket or separately. It could work either way. But again, it's like I used up all the last little bits of yarn that I had. And I don't think I used this color on the big skein or on the big basket at all, but I had a little bit of this purple from the very top, and then the white, and then this dark kind of purpley blue color. And then I made this thing keeps falling off. And then I made another one with less increases. So I think this one was 4 increases. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I think it was 4 increases, and then I started going up the sides, following the same type of pattern method. So just less increases, and added a little handle on this one as well. Although you can see my eye do that. But yeah, I thought those were super cute. Good way to use up just the last little bit of yarn. I don't know if you can tell too, but I ran out of the jelly beans towards the top and just finished in plain black but I think those are cute. They're scrappy. This is the same type of blue with the white and the black. So I thought those were cute. Little like baskets. These actually kind of nestled together because they're one round smaller than each other. But yeah, I thought those were super cute. Good way to use up scrap yarns that you have for making hats or whatever. Yeah, I loved the jelly beans. Oh, I didn't show this part. This is what I'm talking about. Let's see. So the Lion Brand Thick and Quick, that was like the main yarns that I used. And then I saved this so I could show you. It's like this. Jelly beans. Plymouth yarns, jelly beans. Yeah. So super cute. I loved that it was all colorful, and just had I think I bought 2 skeins from her, something like that. I don't know. It was cheap and I liked it, so I bought it and I used it. So can't go wrong there, right? My second finished object, I just finished it and actually realized I just wound the final ends on the wrong side, so I will have to pick that out and fix that, but that's okay. This is my daughter's blanket. I don't know if you can see that whole thing, but this is the Zigzag Zen Blanket, and it's a garter stitch blocks that are built block by block. It's all connected as you go, so you're not connecting at the end or anything. And I love how this turned out. It's so cute. I also did an I-cord edging all the way around for the blanket in the main color, which is holly white. And then the contrasting colors is all an advent, actually, from Suburban Stitcher, one of my friends, followers, customers, all of the above, sent me her advent so that I could make something for my daughter. And I think I've talked about it before, but I started this project when she was having open heart surgery in August, and I just finished it for her, I guess in time for Christmas. I don't know that I'm gonna give it to her like as a Christmas gift, because it was just like something I was making for her anyways. But yeah, I love how it turned out, and I loved doing the I-cord. Of course, the I-cord always takes a lot longer to do, but it just adds such a nice finishing touch. I really like it a lot. I'm even thinking I might go back and add an I-cord edge to my fair and square blanket. So yeah, so the main color that I used was holly white. That's from my shop. And then all the contrasting colors were minis from the Suburban Stitcher, a very pink Christmas advent. I believe it was from last year. And how I did this is where I need to go back and pick and fix. I realized I wove it on the right side instead of the wrong side, so I need to fix that. But so just ignore that. But how I did my organization for this blanket was that I wound up all the days and I put day 1 and day 2 together. And since this is a DK weight blanket, fingering held double, I put day 1 and day 2 together. And so this stripe right here is day 1 and day 2 together. And then it's day 2 and day 3. And it was kind of a fade advent, so it worked out perfect to do that. But I feel like you could easily fade or marl other colors together from any advent, even if they don't really match. You could decide how you want to do that. Or you could, well, so the only issue with holding one mini double, it'll be fine for like these smaller sections, but once you start getting to like these really long sections with these really long stripes, like you won't have enough yarn to do that. And even I started running out. So even holding day 1 and day 2 together, it was even fine through these sections, basically just the last 4 stripes. So like these 2 stripes and these 2 stripes, I had to kind of match up the minis as best as I could color wise, and then just kind of like change stripes. And I think one of them is a little more obvious, maybe on this one. It's like a little more obvious that it was a stripe instead of, maybe I could have faded them together better or something. I just got creative, and I didn't think you can tell, like while I was knitting it, kind of in my dimly lit living room, I didn't really notice that they actually do look a little different, but I actually love how it turned out regardless. So that's a personal choice, but yeah, so I used day 1 and day 2, day 3 and day 4, etc., on all the stripes, and then I repeated them. So then I started day 1 and day 2 again, day 3 and day 4 again, and I started with those ones again because I had the most of that yarn left over from the other days. Were getting a little smaller because they were already in the bigger sections, and then I just got creative towards the end. And I did use, so I technically used, I wound 4 main skeins of yarn, of the Holly White and fingering, and held it double. So I did 2 skeins all the way through, and then I have half skeins left over, 2 half skeins left over after the I-cord edge. And I did a full 10 sections on the blanket as well, which I feel like is it's a really good like lap blanket size, and especially will be great for my 5-year-old. So that's all I did on my Zigzag Zen blanket. I loved how it turned out, and I just love that I was able to do this blanket for her, and I think she'll really enjoy having this, and hopefully it's becomes a piece that she can cherish for a very long time, long after I'm gone from this world. But yeah, so that's technically my second finished object to share with you today. So I guess I have a half finished object to share with you as well, because I did finish my first sock of my Golden Moth colorway. This is a brand new colorway that has not yet been released in the shop. I'm thinking I will release it in the new year. Just with the holidays and stuff, it's a little busy, and I was recently sick, and it was my birthday, and it was Thanksgiving, and we were out of town, and like a lot of things. I just wasn't in the right place to be able to release a new colorway, but I'm thinking in the new year I will release this one. But it's called Golden Moth. It is a half and half skein, so it's half hazmat suit and half black, and it makes Golden Moth like from Breaking Bad. Like I have this bag from Danielle of Midwest Stitches. She did recently close her shop, but I will still link her Instagram down below for you in case you want to check her out. She has a cool YouTube channel as well with podcasting and whatnot. But yeah, so she made me this bag. This is from Breaking Bad, the Golden Moths. And I made this colorway based on the Golden Moth. And yeah, so I finished the first sock. So I guess it's a project half done. And I am pretty far along on the second sock actually. So I finished the cuff, the leg, the heel, the gusset, and I'm working on the foot now. So I'm actually getting there pretty good. This one actually pulled a little bit more at the heel, which is kind of cool. So yeah, this has been pulling really interestingly, kind of like a spiral going down. Like it'll kind of like go all the way around, which I think is really cool. Yeah, so I'm just knitting vanilla socks. There's nothing with a slip stitch heel, flap, heel turn gusset, knurl stuff. And yeah, so I'm almost done with those, and hopefully I can get those done before the new year. But I don't really have any set goals. I did post on Instagram that my goal for 2025 is just to knit. And honestly, that's just like a reflection of where I'm at in my life. I have 2 small children, and my son is over a year now. And so he's definitely a boy, but definitely a toddler. And he is a handful sometimes. So with working and being with him and my daughter being in school now, it's just been a lot busier than I guess kind of expected, and work's been really busy. So then I have less time to do breaking yarn stuff. So just kind of in the headspace that I'm in right now, like I still have tons of stuff I want to do, patterns I want to write. I have ideas in my head floating around that I need to like execute. I have new colorway ideas that I need to execute as well and release to the shop, ones that are already dyed that I haven't even released to the shop. So of course I have tons of stuff, tons of things I want to do. I just haven't had really a chance to execute any of it. Work's been too crazy, and of course I mentioned I had some illnesses, and I have a toddler. So I'm just extending myself some grace, and I hope that you'll do the same if you're in a similar situation, or you know, sometimes life just doesn't go exactly how you think it will go, and so you need to give yourself a little bit of grace and a little bit of time to just focus on one thing. And sometimes that's not running a small business. So for me, it's focusing on my day job, which actually pays my bills, and then you know, my family, of course. So yeah, so I put out a very simple goal, that my goal is to just knit in 2025, and we'll see where it takes us. So anyways, I'll get off my soapbox now and share with you my last 2 whips. So this other whip, you have not seen it yet on a podcast. This is in a bag by Stitched Below. She made this, and I won this off of a giveaway, which was amazing. It's Nicole of Stitched Below. And I am making, ooh, I don't want to lose where I'm at. Let me see if I can show you the picture. I'm making the Polka Dot Tee. This is a kit on Lion Brand, actually, and the design is made by LA Knits Apparel, and it's just a really cute, like, lightweight polka dot tee shirt, which I have been really enjoying. I took this with me to California for Thanksgiving and my birthday, and I will show you where I'm at. So it's like this. I'm still working on the yoke part, and I have not split for sleeves yet, so that's why it's a little more bunchy, maybe a little messy, but it is a raglan, and there's polka dots on there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's super fun to knit. It's been very enjoyable. I really like this yarn, actually. This is, like I said, it's from a kit on Lion Brand, and it's Pima cotton. And my colorway that I am knitting mine in is called Dragonfly, which is a teal color, but it has a nice, like, dark teal hue to that. And I've really been enjoying it a lot. I know it doesn't look like it because it's all bunched up still, but it's actually, I'm only like 1 more repeat away from splitting the sleeves, I believe. So yeah, I'm getting really close to being able to split for the sleeves on that, and I've been enjoying it. I will put a link down in the description box in case you want to knit one with me. There's at least 1 or maybe 2 other people who are also knitting one. I don't know if they've started theirs yet, but I did start mine, and I'm on my 2nd skein of yarn as well. I don't know if you can see the pattern better on this side. Like, this is the back, but I think you can probably see it pretty good. Anyways, yeah, I've been enjoying this knit. It's been a fun knit. And I like doing raglan increases. I am now way better at doing my make one left and make one right. Her instructions were super clear. I always had to look it up before, and I feel like the way that she wrote it made more sense to me than like ever before. Maybe even more than a video, which is surprising for me, especially because I usually enjoy having a video to watch instead of to read like how to do something. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, she also has videos too, but the make one left, you pass the tip of the left hand needle underneath the strand from the front to the back. Insert the right hand needle into the back of the new loop and knit. And for the make one right, you pass the tip of the left hand needle underneath the strand from the back to the front. Insert the right hand needle into the front of the new loop and knit. I haven't quite figured out like what a trick is to like remember that, but I've just been remembering left is from front to back, and that helps me to know which way I'm picking up and which part I'm knitting. So I don't know why that, maybe it's because I didn't have the ability to, did I not have my phone with me? I don't remember. Maybe I like had to force myself, excuse me, to read the instructions because I didn't have my phone for a video. I don't remember. I was in California at the time, so it could have been a situation where I was in a car and I just couldn't do that. I don't knit and drive. I am a total passenger princess. My husband drives everywhere. And I love that. He gets car sick and I don't, so I get to knit and it's fun. Anyways, yeah, so that's my newest project from this lovely bag from Nicole of Stitch Below. She has a great shop as well. I haven't seen too many posts of hers lately. Actually, I'm wondering if she's okay. I'll have to check in on her. So I have one final project to talk about, and this one might get me in trouble with some knitters. I'm not sure. We'll see how much y'all like me or don't after this. I don't know. This is my first time knitting with Boucle yarn. This is my first time knitting with Boucle yarn. Oh God, I'm such a dark. Oh God, okay. I'm such a dark, I'm sorry. Or I'm not sorry, I don't know. I'm not sorry. Yeah, so this is my first time knitting with Boucle yarn, and this might be my last time knitting with Boucle yarn as well. So I decided to knit my mother-in-law some socks. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna knit her some socks for Christmas, because I feel like she would really like fuzzy socks, and they are super fuzzy. So I bought some Boucle. Oh God, why can I not say this now? Boucle. I bought some Boucle yarn. This is terrible. I bought some yarn and I dyed this for her, and it's like gold, silver, and like speckles of pink, which I thought she would really like and enjoy. And part of the issue is that I was trying to do it on some, okay, I don't know how to tell you this without telling you this, is that I think I might be done using my little red mini set from ChaioGoo, only because I think the cables are too thin for me and it gets really uncomfortable. Like it's just too thin. I've gotten really used to knitting on 9-inch circs with a fixed cable, and it's a lot thicker. It's like a lot thicker, and I don't know. Now I'm just having issues knitting with the thin, and so I might sell my set or give it away or something. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm not enjoying the thin anymore. Now that I've gotten used to doing the thicker, like fixed ones, they're just like thicker and the joint is like a little smoother. It's not as like such a, like a big, I don't know how to explain this, but it's such a big difference like in circumference. Like this is so tiny and then it goes to like a bigger, like this was a 2.5 and a 3mm needle. So it just kind of has like a bigger jump right here. And the fixed ones, this is also a 2.5 with a fix, but it's not that big of a join difference. Yeah, so anyways, that's a side tangent, but that's maybe part of the reason why I'm not enjoying working with boucle yarn. But I made these socks, this one sock for my mother-in-law, and like I do like how it feels, and I tried it on because we have similar sized feet, and I do like how it feels on my foot. So I think I will suffer through the second one just to be able to finish them and to give her a pair of socks instead of just one sock. I've never knit anything for her ever, and so this will be a big deal. But I also want to enjoy it too. I am very much a process knitter, and I don't like to knit stuff that I don't enjoy. And that takes out all of the joy and the pleasure of knitting for me if it's like something I don't enjoy. So that's partly why I'm like, I don't sell my hand knits. If I knit for you, then wow, it means I really love you a lot. And or I really like you, because I just don't want to feel like it's something I have to do as opposed to something I want to do. So anyways, this is how the first sock turned out. I think it's cute. I think she'll really enjoy it. I did have to like start a few times. I was using a needle that was way too big in the beginning. But yeah, knitting with this yarn is just very difficult. It kind of reminds me of slub yarn. I don't know if I have, I don't think I have any slub that's dyed up as an experiment. Yeah, I don't think so. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just, maybe it's just me. Maybe I just don't, I did like a kind of like a question, like a poll thing on Threads to see like if you guys like knitting with boucle yarn, because I'm just not enjoying it. And actually the majority of the people said no, that they like actually low-key hate it. And so I feel like I'm in good company over there. But some people said that they like it because of the result that you get, which I totally agree about that. Like if it So my recording cut me off and I didn't realize I had gone over 30 minutes when I finished out the rest of my podcast talking, and it was not recording. So I think I was talking about these socks, and if it wasn't for the texture that this sock creates, I definitely would never finish this. But because it is a really nice texture and it is really squishy and soft, and I do think it would be enjoyable to wear, I may try to suffer through the second pair of socks. I am 100% a process knitter though, so if I don't enjoy knitting, then I don't want to do it. I enjoy knitting to relieve stress and to calm myself and to have something fun to do as a hobby. And if it's not bringing me joy, then I don't want to do it. So that's just where I'm at with this boucle yarn. Yeah, so I don't know which parts it cut off, so sorry about that if this section is a little funky because of that. But this is in my bag by Stolen Minutes, and yep, super cute. And let me tell you about two more things. I also launched a collaboration that I did with Francoise Danoy of the Practice of Fiber. She designed a Shawlette pattern out of my yarn, and I do have kits available in my shop. It includes yarn and the pattern. So we put together this color palette. These colors are inspired by her trip to Santa Fe, New Mexico. And so we have Lily of the Valley, Jane Margalis, bleeding out in this bear zebra yarn. These are all worsted weight, 100% superwash merino, swish worsted on these three. And then the bear is a Peruvian highland wool, black and white. So she designed this very amazing Intarsia Shawlette. So if you purchase the kit, you will also get the pattern with that as an instant download. I have those available in my shop. I will link it down below in the description box, and I will also add Francois' Instagram information as well. The last thing I wanted to talk about is that Adventurely Mal 2025 is happening. It is starting on January 1st and it'll run through March 31st. So any Advent project that you are working on that you would like to enter the make along for will be done over on Instagram. You can use the hashtag AdventurelyMal2025. And me and my friend Leah of Leah Loves to Knit, this is our 4th time hosting this make along as a motivation to finish your Advent projects in the new year. So these can be any Advent projects, any craft that you started. You could have started it whenever. Whips are welcome. You can also start it in the new year if you're like me and you haven't done any Advent project knitting this year. Then you can go ahead and start your project as well in the new year. So that will be over on Instagram. We also have a Google form for you to fill out if you finish your item so that you can be entered for prizes. We've been doing that because hashtags sometimes don't work on Instagram. I noticed they're actually making some changes to the hashtags as well, where you won't be able to follow a certain hashtag, but I don't know if there's going to be more changes than just that. But if you have a private Instagram account and you use hashtags, your posts do not show up. And so we want to make sure that everyone who is participating has a chance to win prizes. So that's why we're doing the Google form again this year. We did it last year. It worked out great. So we're just doing that again this year. We will link it in all of our bios and our stories and our highlights over on Instagram. I can probably put it down here in the description box as well for you, in case you want to enter for that. If you're making any kind of Advent project, even if it's like you're using your scraps from an Advent project to make a hat or socks or a wallop cowl or whatever you want to do, you can also enter that into the make along as well. So that's it for episode 61 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful Christmas, and a wonderful New Year. We'll see you.